So you finish planning an epic backpacking trip deep in the backcountry. You get out there and you realize, oh my heck, I forgot something. I feel like that's an age-old problem that almost every backpacker has experienced. Most of the time, it's something very small, something easy to forget, like tent stakes. I know that I have. However, I swore that I would never forget anything again. So I came home, I came up with a system that's been working for me ever since. This system is actually super simple and very effective and has helped so many times to not forget the essential items. So let's dig into this. Basically, it uses 3 totes like this one here. I've labeled each one. This one, as you can see, is labeled always. I say always because 85 to 100% of my trips, this stuff goes on. And it contains things like bear spray, because I go in bear country most of the time where I live. It contains my Garmin InReach satellite messenger, contains my water purifier, water filter, contains my ditty bag, contains my poop kit, contains tent stakes. And then a common thing also that people leave, I've heard so many times, I got out on trail and I had to use a stick to eat with, is just your utensils. I leave these in here as well because they're so common to forget. Anything that you want to always take with you should go in here, any little items. The bigger items that you don't want to forget can be put in a Ziploc bag like I've done here. And I've labeled this always so I don't mix these up. And this thing contains just these little pieces of paper. I've laminated them, but basically a little pocket knife, trekking poles, and obviously a pocket knife's not a bigger thing, but like my foam pad, I've got my smelly proof bags. It has my top quilt in here, and each tote contains one of these. But what I do basically is go through this and I pull these out of this Ziploc bag as I've put them in my backpack. So if everything in this tote is gone and everything in this bag, every little piece of paper in this bag is gone and it's empty, then I know that I've not forgotten anything from this tote. And this is the most important tote. This is the essentials, the stuff I always take with me. Never do what I've done here, take it out and put it on the side, put it on the table. Take it out and put it directly in your backpack where it should go. If you're not ready to pack that piece yet, because you need to put some other things in the bottom of your pack, leave it in your tote and come back to it. Just know that if there's anything left in here, it's a conscious decision that you made and you know why you left it in here, because maybe it's something you aren't taking on that trip. The next part is my sometimes tote, or my if I feel like it tote, or my luxury item tote. And this thing contains fewer items. It contains things like my parks pass. If I'm going to a national park and I need to have a pass, then I don't want to forget this. If I'm going to, there's certain areas by my house that this works for, and I don't want to have to pay to go into those areas when I've already got a pass. So I keep this, and I don't always go to those. So this is a sometimes thing. I've got like a little chair in here. And this is small enough that it fits in this tote. So this is a sometimes. I don't always take a chair with me. I do take a chair often. So that's in this tote. And then it's got other items like this boost oxygen thing that I take with me depending on the elevation and the conditioning I'm in. And then again, this thing does have this Ziploc bag that says sometimes if I feel like it. And it has other items in here, different items that I might take with me, like, oh, hey, I want to build a tripod hammock chair, so I'm going to take my little hammock chair kit. I want to take an extra foam pad with me for, putting my feet on, or whatever I end up using it for. I want to take my camp shoes with me, or anyway, just different things that I might take with me sometimes, but not all the time. Luxury items, if I feel like taking it, if I feel like carrying it, that's the kind of stuff that goes in this sometimes bin. The third bin is the depends bin. This bin here is for things like seasonal things, or like if I'm going on a winter backpacking trip, I'm going to carry different items with me depending on the type of trip I'm going on. If I feel like I'm going to go and I'm just going to hang out at camp for a while, I'm not going to put in tons and tons of miles, I might take some of this stuff. This thing has a little pouch with some extra rope in it. If I'm going with my kids or more people and they aren't carrying toilet paper, mainly with my kids, I'll carry this roll of toilet paper. I don't normally carry a big roll of toilet paper with me. I just carry enough for what I'm going to need. But, you know, if I'm going with my kids, that would be a depends situation, and I would take this with me. If I'm using an air mattress, then if I'm sleeping in my tent versus a hammock, then I would take my pump with me. That's rare, so I put it in my depends folder, depends bin. It's got, you know, some supplemental poop kit stuff if I'm in an area that has, like, I go to Moab and go backpacking and do some places like that that are just rock or granite. I want to be able to have a wag bag or whatever. So that's a depends on the area that I'm going in. So just some other little things in here as well. I've got some fire making stuff. If I'm going to be making a fire on that trip, then I'll take some of that. So again, your stuff will differ, but that's kind of the thing to think about is what would you put in each bin? And then the key is, and I mentioned this already, but it's important, is you want to go through every bin in order. The always bin, the sometimes bin, and the depends bin. And that way you're going to guarantee, if you've got your stuff in here that you take with you and that you want to consider taking or have options for, it's pretty hard to forget any items and show up out on the trail not having tent stakes or not having a headlamp or forgetting your water filter or your utensil or whatever it is. I look at this kind of like every aspect of backpacking should be fun and not be stressful. So if planning is stressful, figure out a different way, figure out a system for how you plan your trips. If packing is stressful, if you're worried, oh my gosh, what am I going to take on this one? Am I going to forget something? This is a system that I use to help you to not forget anything. If you're going to be out on trail and stress out because you did forget something, then the next time you might want to consider a system like this. Now, checklists are great. I do think they have some limitations as far as like a printed one because they are not as flexible. Whereas like something like this one, you have the storage, you're storing all of your little gear in here, your odds and ends, but you also have a system that you know you can look at everything and decide. I like this system a lot better than a checklist just for that reason. Let us know in the comments what you do to make sure that you don't forget gear before you leave home and head out on trail. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up. I hope you've learned something from it. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, consider doing that. I do put out a video every single week. And most of all, I hope you get out there and I hope you stay safe while you're out there. We'll catch you on the next one.